Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Chaos Synchro Yugioh deck profile. We've got a ban list back during the October format with the release of the Age of Overlord booster set. Wanted to update the Chaos Synchro deck with Chaos Space at 1. They hit some of the cards that affected the actual Chaos Synchro deck, more so for the fact so they could limit the power of Dragon Link. But still, we had some changes to the deck, so I wanted to update all of them that I made, and I've been promising you all an actual pure build for the Chaos Synchro deck without any focus to the Thunder Dragons being added into the deck. Just using more of the generic support that we can have with all the other Chaos monsters to then go into the Chaos Synchro monsters. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. For the Chaos monsters, we're running 3 copies of Chaos Witch. You contribute this card to special summon 2 Dark Beast tokens onto the field. Dark, level 2 with 1000 attack and 500 defense. If this card's banished from the hand or graveyard, you can special summon 2 Light Beast tokens onto the field. You can only use 1 Chaos Witch effect per turn, and only once that turn. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except for Light or Dark Synchro monsters the turn you activate this effect. So the main play, as a lot of Chaos monsters that you'll see, involve banishing cards from either your hand or graveyard to either special summon other monsters or gain additional card effects, and you'll see that quite a bit with the Chaos monsters as well. So 3 Chaos Witch at least gives us more of an option to then be able to use this card to get more tokens on the field as well, with the light ones even being a tuner to use with our other monsters to go into synchro summons. We're also running 3 copies of Core of Chaos with this card. It cannot be normal summon or set. Must be special summoned by a card effect. If this face-up card leave the field, banish it instead. You can only use each of the following effects of a Core of Chaos once per turn. You can banish 1 dark monster from your hand or graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. Also, you're stuck into special summoning except for light or dark synchro monsters. And if this card is special summoned, you can target one of your banished Shell of Chaos and special summon it. So these special summon with the banish of the special summon of this card, being able to target our next monster, which we're also running 3 of, which is Shell of Chaos, is just an added benefit that works very well with Shell and Core of Chaos back and forth with one another, because then you have the special summon of your Shell of Chaos by being able to banish 1 light monster. So then you'll use Core of Chaos most of the time to banish for Shell of Chaos and Core of Chaos to banish for your Shell of Chaos. Then you also have the option of when this card is special summoned to target one of your banished Core of Chaos and special summoning it, giving you all those resources on the field to use these monsters. So you can go into your level 6 Synchro monster, which is your Chaos Beast, which is the combination of both of the cards together. And they work out with Shell of Chaos being a level 4 monster, and then Core of the Chaos being the level 2 tuner to use. I also run 2 copies of Chaos Valkyria, or Chaos Valkyria. You cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by a card effect. You can banish a light or dark monster from your graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. If this card is banished, you can send 1 light or dark monster from your deck to the graveyard, but for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the same name as that card. You can only use each of the following effects of Chaos Valkyria once per turn, so it's most to set up a card in your graveyard to use for a banish cost for another card you may want to summon out. Just need to banish a light or dark monster, also to summon this card out onto the field, and then, like I said, just give you that graveyard setup. That's why we're only running the 2 copies of this card along with the 2 copies of Chaos Mirage Dragon. You can target one of your banished light or dark monsters, special summon it to your field, but negate its effects. Also for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except for light or dark synchro monsters. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of other cards used for the synchro summon and banish them. So more of a banish effect with this card. Being another tuner in the deck, you can use the Chaos Mirage Dragon along with some of your other non-tuner monsters to then go into some of the bigger synchro monsters that we may want to summon on the field. You need some of the lower level monsters to summon out Chaos Goddess, but still you can use your light tuner monster, which is your Chaos Mirage Dragon, in tandem with some of your other cards in the deck, like the Shell of Chaos, to then go into cards like your Chaos Archfiend quite easily also. And then I also run 2 copies of Chaos Creator. It cannot be normal summon or reset, must be special summon from your hand by banishing 1 light and 1 dark monster from your graveyard. If you control this card that was special summoned from the hand, you can target 3 banished monsters with different names and special summon 1 of them, then place the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. You can only use this effect of the Chaos Creator once per turn with one of your bigger monsters, which can also help to then summon out cards like your level 10 Chaos Angel, which we also run in the deck. Since this is a level 8 non-tuner, then you can make use of some of your other monsters in the deck to summon it out, since you need a non-tuner light or dark, which Chaos Creator meets the requirements, and then just the light tuner to use for that summon as well, since your Chaos Angel just needs a tuner monster to summon it out. And then also the 1 copy of Chaos Nephthys for the special summon option of being able to banish a light and dark monster. And then when you special summon this card from your graveyard, this could be one of the cards that you send off of your Chaos Valkyria to then summon back, since you can summon it from the graveyard onto the field also. Also the 1 copy of Chaos Dragon Legionnaire to give you more of a hand control special summon or just destruction capability depending on the light or dark monsters that you use to banish this card. And then also the 1 Black Luster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. There are some situations where you just won't have access to as much of the extra deck power, so you can rely on these cards as more of a main deck boss monster to go into if you're stuck for some of your special summons. And then also running for some of the banished plays in the deck, I run a small Bystial engine, so 1 copy of Valdrake, 1 copy of Druid Swarm, and 1 copy of Magnemut, since Magnemut is also at 1 now on the ban list. If you wanted to run Saronir, you can always take out one of the other 3 boss monsters, or even drop your Chaos Valkyria down to a 1 of copy count for an additional copy of that card. Having the banish of even your opponent's cards can help to disrupt some of your plays against them. If they were to target a light or dark monster to summon out, then you can just chain your Bystial card, gaining the additional effects like the Shuffle Back power of Baldrake, the Send power of Druid Swarm, and then the additional search power of the other 2 using Magnemut. I also run the 1 copy of Collapse Serpent and the 1 copy of Wyver Buster for the special summon, using the search power that each one can use to grab the other copy of themselves, but also just needing a light monster to summon Collapse Serpent and a dark monster to summon Wyver Buster. And then for the rest of the actual Chaos engine, 2 copies of Mental Tuner. You can use the emergency teleports that we run in the deck to summon this card out into the field, and you can activate one of these effects. You can banish up to 1 light and up to 1 dark monster from your hand or graveyard to increase or decrease this card's level by the exact number of banished cards, so making it so you have a usable level 3, 2, or 1 tuner with this card, or you can target up to 2 of your banished monsters, light or dark, return them to the deck, and then also have the same increase or decrease activating one of these effects while this card's on the field. So using the emergency teleport to summon it onto the field, and then choosing what you want to have this card be for that tuner monster, or even being able to increase this card up to the exact number returned, or giving you a level 4 tuner if you wish also. And then for the rest of the main deck monsters, I run 3 copies of Effect Veiler as the hand trap of choice in the deck, just because it is a light attribute monster, giving you more of a banish cost for any of the cards in the deck that do require a light monster to banish, while also being able to stop a monster effect of your opponent. And another bonus of Effect Veiler compared to Ash Blossom, it is not a once per turn, it's just more restricted to when you can activate it. For the spells, the 1 copy of Chaos Space Now, you send 1 light or dark monster from your hand to the graveyard to add 1 light or dark monster that cannot be normal summoned or set from your deck to your hand with a level 4 to 8 and with a different attribute than that monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one of your banished light or dark monsters that cannot be normal summoned or set, and place that monster on the bottom of the deck. So you can then draw 1 card. So you have search power for whatever you need, but sadly with the ban list, it's at a 1 of copy. So we have to make do with what we have, but we still have a good amount of monsters to at least make use of in the deck. The 3 copies of Emergency Teleport to search out are copies of Mental Tuner as well. We run the 2, but we still have some shuffle back power in the deck that can at least re-add it to the deck to then use the 3rd copy if we ever do get to the 3rd copy of Emergency Teleport. The 2 copies of Allure of Darkness. Now draw power, it's not a once per turn. I considered running it at a 3 of. If you wanted to run 3, you can take out this next spell that I run for another spot of this, with that 1 card being Burial from a different dimension. More recycle power for the graveyard, especially with some of our bigger boss monsters like Black Luster Soldier or Chaos Legionnaire. And the 1 Call by the Grave, with the remainder of the spells for our main deck being 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. If you're going for a lot of special summoning, if your opponent were to activate a monster effect, like let's say Nibiru, and tribute all your monsters, you can at least then use this card to give you more of a draw. And with this deck, normal summoning isn't really part of the play style, so you can draw into something and still have a usable play to use against them. And then the only trap we run in the deck is the 2 copies of Chaos Phantasm. You target one of your banished light tuners and one of your banished level 8 or lower dark non-tuners, return both to the graveyard, then special summon one light or dark synchro monster from your extra deck whose level equal the total levels of those returned monsters. So there's really no restriction for the Chaos Synchros saying they must be synchro summon. You'll get that special summon of those cards on the field. Just remember, when you synchro summon, you can special summon the monster back onto the field, but if you were to special summon them off of Chaos Phantasm, you have no other way to special summon them back onto the field. For the actual extra deck now, for our synchro monsters, we're running 2 copies of Chaos Beast. If any cards have been banished this turn, this card gains 1000 attack. You can only use each of the following effects of Chaos Beast once per turn. You can target one of your banished light or dark monsters, add to your hand, and during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish one light and one dark monster from your hand and your graveyard to special summon this card from your graveyard, giving you the level 6 resource, which can be used to then summon out some of the bigger monsters we also run in the deck, including our Chaos Archfiend, since it is the non-tuner dark monster, but you can use in tandem with our light tuners, and also the 1 copy of the Chaos Goddess and the 1 copy of the Chaos Angel. Chaos Goddess needs 1 light tuner and 2 non-tuner dark monsters, so the best way is to use your Chaos Core, which gives you the option for the tuner, but then also being able to use your Chaos Witch to special summon out the tribute and give you 2 Dark Beast tokens on the field. So then you have your 2 non-tuner dark monsters on the field also, or you can at least use 1 of those along with your Shell of Chaos for that summon of this monster, and then your Chaos Angel being one of your bigger monsters to give protection for your other Chaos monsters you may have in the field, depending on the type of monster used, light making it so your synchro monsters are unaffected by monster effects, and dark that they can't be destroyed by battle. And then lastly, for the Chaos Synchros, 2 copies of Chaos Archfiend. If any card's been banished this turn, it gains 2000 attack. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. If this card in the owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Chaos Synchro monster from your extra deck except for Chaos Synchro, giving you access to some of the other ones that I mentioned before while getting around the specifications they need for their synchro plays as well. And then for the rest of the synchros, 1 copy of Infernity Doom Archfiend, 1 Brionac, the 1 Draco Berserker, the 1 Psyframe Lord Omega, the 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, and then also the 1 Beel's Dragon and the 1 Baron de Fleur. With Brionac and Baron de Fleur, I know we're restricted to a good amount of plays, just being that you can only summon light and dark monsters. If you wanted to take these 2 cards out for additional link monsters that are light or dark, or more synchro monsters, you can always increase some of your other numbers that we run in the deck, including maybe a second copy of Chaos Angel. I know this card is pretty expensive, that's why I have the Baron de Fleur as another potential spot for a level 10 synchro to go into. It's just player preference at that point as well, with our only link monsters being the 1 copy of Lena the Light Charmer and the 1 Dark the Dark Charmer, for when we're not restricted to synchros, but still can use our opponent's own monsters as resources, taking them from their own graveyard for us to use also. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, as I said before, the setup for our Chaos Beast is one of the best ways to do it. So you can use your Chaos Witch for the tribute to then get 2 Dark Beast tokens out onto the field. The Dark Beast tokens are level 2 as well for the summon, giving you those 2 monsters on the field. And then you can use the option of, let's say, the Shell of Chaos that you have in your hand for the additional special summon, or the Core of Chaos as well, because then you can banish the dark monster, which is the Chaos Witch in the graveyard, to then summon out this card onto the field. Then you have your monsters needed for a specific synchro play, but the main play will fall onto the fact that you need the 1 non-tuner dark monster to make your Chaos Beast. So depending on what you may want to summon out with these monsters, you'll have to go for one of your other synchro options in the deck, being able to use the monsters that we have in lineup for that summon, or you could use the actual reliability of your Shell of Chaos along with your Core of Chaos for the initial play, using the banish of the monster, and then when this card is summoned, to then target one of your banished monsters and special summon the other, vice versa. So if you summon out your Core of Chaos, summoning out the Shell of Chaos, that will give you your level 6 summon of your Chaos Beast by having you special summon the one that you banished, vice versa, for one of these cards onto the field. And then when this card gains 1000 1000 attack because you did banish. Then you can also use targeting one of your banished light or dark monsters, which in also turn you can use for the option of being able to summon out one of your other bigger monsters. And if you have them in your hand, like the Chaos Creator, being able to then banish both of the monsters you sent to the graveyard for the Synchro Summon of Chaos Beast, giving you that monster on the field, and being able to target one of your banished light monsters, so you can summon the core of Chaos back in the field with Chaos Beast, and have the 2 monsters needed to then summon out your Chaos Archfiend to the field also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, just wanted to do an update and more of a pure variant for the Chaos Synchro deck for you all. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira, Twig out.